For centuries, one question has ignited debate among historians, archaeologists, and even the general public. What race were the ancient Egyptians? Were they black, white, Middle Eastern, or a unique blend of civilizations? Today, we're diving into ancient art, historical accounts, and modern DNA studies to uncover the truth. The answer may not be as simple as you think. Let's start with the most obvious source: how the Egyptians depicted themselves. In their art, ancient Egyptians painted themselves with reddish-brown skin tones, distinct from the darker-skinned Nubians to the south and the lighter-skinned Libyans to the west. Does this mean they were a separate race? Not exactly. Egyptian art was often symbolic rather than strictly realistic. Color variations were used to indicate different social classes, roles, or even religious significance rather than strict racial categories. Even their statues and carvings vary greatly in facial features. Some have broad noses and full lips, while others have narrow noses and more angular faces. Could this suggest a diverse population? Historians from ancient Greece and Rome also weighed in. Herodotus, the Greek historian, described the Egyptians as having dark skin and curly hair, but other classical writers offered differing descriptions. Arab historians in the medieval period described Egyptians as having a mix of features, suggesting centuries of interaction with neighboring civilizations. But how reliable are these historical accounts? Many were written long after the peak of ancient Egyptian civilization and could have been influenced by political or cultural biases. DNA evidence: what science tells us. So, what does modern science say? Recent DNA studies on mummies have revealed surprising results. A 2017 study analyzed the genomes of ancient Egyptian mummies from the New Kingdom period and found that their DNA was closer to that of ancient Near Eastern populations, meaning they had genetic ties to people from the Levant, Anatolia, and Mesopotamia. However, modern Egyptians show higher levels of sub-Saharan African ancestry, likely due to more recent migrations and interactions. So, does this mean the ancient Egyptians weren't African? Not quite. Egypt has always been at the crossroads of Africa, Asia, and the Mediterranean. It's likely that the civilization was ethnically diverse, reflecting thousands of years of migration and cultural exchange. The truth about ancient Egyptian identity. So, after all this debate, can we finally solve the mystery? The truth is, the ancient Egyptians were neither strictly black nor white, but a blend of peoples shaped by geography, trade, and history. Ancient Egypt was a melting pot, drawing influences from Nubia, Libya, the Levant, and beyond. Their art, historical accounts, and genetics all point to a civilization that thrived due to its diversity, not in spite of it. Maybe instead of asking what race they were, we should ask, how did they build a legacy that continues to fascinate the world today? What do you think? Does this evidence change your view of ancient Egypt? Let's continue the discussion in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, subscribe to Whispers of the Past for more history that challenges what we think we know. And remember, history whispers, but only if we're willing to listen.